You can't see it, but I've just scratched myself with a pin. No, a staple. Can you see the staple? Ow! I just scratched my hand over that. Hello everyone and happy Saturday. Like promised, I am going to be going through my A-level textiles portfolio, coursework thing, and show you my final project at the end. Final product of my final project at the end. So this is my folder. It's one whole project's worth of work and we're going to go through it. The start of every coursework project for textiles, I did 2. This was my final year, so year 13. We had to come up with a brief, so this was something that we had to follow for the entirety of the project. And mine was, my client has been cast as the role as Belle in a semi-professional production of Beauty and the Beast. She's notified the company that she wants me to make her iconic Belle dress for part of the show. The company have agreed and believe it will bring a personal touch to the production. My client would like her garment based on the more modern version of the iconic dress from the 2017 live-action version of the story. She wants the costume to be more realistic, hence why she asked not to have it based on the animated film version of the dress from 1992. An analysis of the brief. I'm not going to go through all of this because it's a bit ridiculous, but basically on the page at the top I've got the design brief that I just read to you. Then we were given a thing and the whole technology department at my school had it. It was called Access FM, but basically it was an anagram for the different points of analysis that we had to use as part of technology. So the first thing was aesthetics, then cost, customer, environment, size and shape, safety, function, and materials and manufacture. So this whole page, I've gone through those different things and sort of asked myself questions like with the materials and manufacture one, what materials would be appropriate for my client's garment? How will I be able to ensure the quality of the materials used? How will I be able to ensure the manufacturing process is as eco-friendly as possible? And then I'm like, oh, I'll interview my client. I try and answer those questions. Client and company interview. So there was a theatre that I used to go to and did productions in, and that's what I used as the site for the show, so that I could draw in an actual theatre space that I knew. So I knew all the backstage area. I knew how the stage worked because I performed there quite a few times. So the next page is my first page of research. I quite enjoyed doing all of this research. It's tiny, like size 12 writing, I think. And I went through and analysed all of it using Access FM. I did the same with these. So this is costume embellishment and construction research. So I was looking at the construction of corsets and just other stuff like that. I was clearly going through a phase where I loved Reign, the TV show Reign with Adelaide Kane. It was about Mary Queen of Scots, and literally most of these photos are from Reign, apart from this one from Once Upon a Time. The rest of them are from Reign, but this is Belle from Once Upon a Time. The costume designer that designed the costumes for Beauty and the Beast, the live action film, I did a whole page of research on her. These are all of the costumes and the digital designs that I found on the internet for some of the Beauty and the Beast costumes, but this one was from Anna Karenina because I couldn't find another Beauty and the Beast one, so I thought, hey, let's just throw another period costume in there because, you know, that's kind of what I'm looking at. Oh, my mood board. I love my mood board. I love my mood board for this. How cool is that? I got to like pick out pretty dresses and stick them on paper for like a whole lesson. It was great. See, as you can tell, I really like mood boarding. This I enjoy. As you can tell, I cared a lot more about my textiles work than I did my art A-level work. And I still got the same grade for this. Actually, no, my coursework I got an A-star, but because my exam completely flopped, I still got a D overall, which was really sad. Now we get on to the actually interesting stuff. My designs. So these are my first ones, and it took ages. I remember I only planned on doing this for like 2 weeks. It took me about 4 to get all my designs done. We had to do 8 designs. This is my other one. As you can tell, this is where the design actually comes from. This design here, because it's the flowy skirt and everything. The actual fabrics that I used on the dress are here as well. Then there's these ones. This one was clearly like inspired by the actual original film animation costume, but I was like, I don't want it to look like the animated costume, so that's why I chose to do the live action version instead. So I did 8 design ideas, and each one had to have the same amount of annotation and zoomed in sections, and just, oh, it took an age, but I was happy with the way that it looked at the end. I took that third design and was like, yep, that's the one I want to develop and make better. So I drew it in blue and had to do different necklines that I could use. Then I drew it in green with different skirts and sleeves that I could have used. Then I drew it in red with different like embellishment techniques. And then my final design with the exact design features that I wanted to include, with a load of annotation yet again. Then we get onto the fun practical development side. We always had to make like a mock-up thing, and it was called a toil. And I had to make it out of my actual fabric, so I was fitting it to Sinead. One of the reasons I chose her as my model is that she always had free lessons when I had textiles, so it was really, really easy for her to just, you know, pop around from the common room and say, hey, I'm here if you need to try anything on. Just my toil, but you can see like the different darts and all of the different construction stuff in it. It's kind of like a waistcoat, and so it's got the seams down the back, the darts, and there's darts in the front as well. I made the great decision of wanting to put roses all the way down the back of the dress, just to, you know, kind of link back to the idea that it's Beauty and the Beast. It's, you know, the rose is a key theme. But these were different like embellishment techniques that I tried. So I made loads of little roses. I did some embroidery on the sewing machine. Then we have the different shapes of embellishments that I wanted to try. I pinned them onto the toil that Sinead was wearing, just to, you know, see how the different variations of it would work. And there's some more of that here. I think I went with this one in the end. Then I had to make my own pattern piece for the middle section, because I already said that I wanted to make it a little bit different to what the actual pattern told me to do. So my teacher said, well, a lot of your experimentation has to be about this bodice section, because it's, you know, it's kind of the main part of the dress. That's what your eyes focus to the first time you see it, because the person will be walking, well, really, the person will be walking towards you. You're not going to see all of the roses cascading down the back. So I had to make this pattern piece. It's out of tissue paper, and then I had to, you know, experiment with it and do it in different ways. I don't really like this at all, so I was very glad we didn't use it in the end. Some more experimentation for the bodice section. This was like pleated tulle fabric, and then pleated tulle but with gold thread sewn over it, and then like appliqued triangles, which I really hate. This was horrible. This took hours, and when I actually had to do it on the dress, let me try and do the maths. There was 3 layers of skirt, but then 3 panels on each layer. So 3, 6, 9. There was 18 different patches of embellishment that had to go on that skirt. I had free lessons Wednesday afternoon, but I stayed at school and I was there all day until 5:45, I think. I started textiles at like 9 o'clock on a Wednesday morning, and 8.5 hours I was sat at that machine whilst it embroidered for me, and I couldn't do anything because the machine did it for me, but I had to sit and watch it in case the thread snapped. And these are just other embellishment ideas that I had for the dress. I have my final design for the dress. So there's roses going all the way down the back, and flowers and embellishment all the way around the skirt, and this was obviously the colour that I was using. Then my production plan. So instead of just, you know, making the dress, I had to write out the entire set of instructions. 3 pages of production plan, all double columned. And this was my pattern for the dress. I have all the pattern pieces still, and they're all, you know, shoved into the envelope. So that doesn't look like it should make the dress that's now hanging up there at all. Also, the lighting's so much better. Right, basically, I've just filmed all of my after shots of the dress, but I've just found this, so I'm putting this into the video. But yeah, this was the pattern, because I saw it online before the year started, and I was like, I have to make it. I have to make it. I can't not make this dress. So I did. Then there's my manufacturing diary. You're now going to see some photos of me in 6th form with really short hair. Look at that hair. I just went through each and every step of making it and had to take photos of making it. I had to fit it onto Sinead to make sure it was, you know, actually going to fit properly right at the end. These are my final photos of it once it was all finished. I'm so proud of it. So they were my final photos, and then final evaluation. I think this photo is my favourite one of it because it shows off the back of the dress, and the back was what had most work to go into it. My mum helped me out because she could see that I physically could not make enough roses in the time that I had. But all I had to do was cut out a circle of red material, sew around the edge and pull it and gather it together, and then that was enough to make the rose. But I had to make hundreds of them to put onto the bottom of the dress. So this is my client feedback, so what Sinead thought of the dress and what the fake production people thought of the dress. So, you know, the director that I'd made up on the spot, what that person thought of the dress, which is basically my own opinion. I remember not knowing that I had to do this page, but I had to compare the garment to a similar garment, so I compared it to the actual dress. And that was a very, very rushed page right at the end. So that was a whole academic year of doing that. It wasn't even like loads more effort that I put into that in comparison to my art. It all took up loads of time and I barely got any sleep. I'm so much more proud of that and the dress that I'm about to show you than all of my artwork like combined. I went into it wanting to do it and wanting to make that dress, so I think I was a lot more, you know, motivated to make it and actually get on with the work that I had to do for it, because that was a lot of work. So that was A-level textiles year 13. I'm gonna end this video here and then end the entire video with shots of the dress. Thank you so much for watching. If you've enjoyed this, let me know. Give me a thumbs up and please subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. Hope you're ready for Wednesday's vlog because I have so much footage. I've sat drawing in a quarantine lockdown colouring in session with Emma today. I have like 4 hours of footage to go through. That's gonna be fun, innit? Here is my dress that I'm ridiculously proud of, and I will see you on Wednesday.